Effects of specialization of labor during the classical era. By Corinne Dorsey and Isabella Arpero. The specialization of labor caused a bigger divide in social classes and an advancement of patriarchy in the classical civilization of Greece, Rome, Mauryan and Gupta dynasties in India, and Shin and Han dynasties in China. Greece. The social classes of Greece are the Athens, the Medics, the freedmen, and the slaves. The Athens are the highest class within Greece, whom hold the highest powers. To be in the Athens class, you must be born in Athens and symbolize the attributes of a sociable person. The Medics. The middle class of Greece come from different areas and then relocate to Athens. They are made of craftsmen, merchants, tradesmen, and artists. The freedmen. People whom were rescued from war and brought to Athens, and then played the role of criminals or slaves. Specialization of labor, divide of social classes. The Athenians, high in rank, gained status due to high wealth within the family. The Medics, though low in rank in comparison to Athenians, also gained status due to the job specialization within Greece. The freemen have no high rank social status due to them not participating in labor and are rather just seen as refugees from war. A particular job may be seen as higher depending on environment, which affects the status of an individual. Ancient Greece was a highly patriarchal society that became increasingly misogynistic as it underwent change. Within Greece, women were expected to have kids and stay home and take care of the family and the household. The men had all the power over them, which was caused by the jobs only being sustainable for that of a man. This brings notice to the effects of labor which brought the patriarchal society of Greece. Rome. In Rome, the specialization of labor led to an uneven distribution of money. In the beginning, every Roman started with a small piece of land for farming, but in time went on some acquired more land than others. The farmers then eventually had lots of land, were able to build on it and expand their ownership. They stopped being farmers and started working in their other jobs of higher authority. They were then able to hire workers and slaves to farm all of their land for them. The excess food allowed others to not have to farm for a living and allowed the people to specialize in jobs like medicine and become soldiers. Land ownership and type of work determined the wealth of an individual, and wealth was a direct factor in political privilege and social status. The patricians, they were the wealthiest families. They could also be the officials and advisors. The senators, this class was filled with nobles and with the wealthy class that dealt strictly with politics. The equestrians were the wealthiest businessmen. The commons, all free-born Roman people. Free people. Free people who were slaves but have not been freed, but they still have some restrictions. Slaves, the lowest class of Roman citizens. They have no freedom and were the property of other masters. Another contributor to the divide of social classes was the patron-client relationship because people got to rule over others in a lower social class. The specialization of labor allowed the patron to be a boss and he could be, to some extent, rule over the client. The patron provides legal advice and representation, physical protection, provides loans during hard financial times, follows patrons into battle, works on patrons' land, and supports patrons' political stances. Client. The basic unit was family. In a family, the oldest male, aka the paterfamilias, had absolute authority over all of the others. Rome was obviously a patriarchal society outside of the home as well because men held all the jobs in Senate, war, and specialty of jobs. The specialization of jobs led to more available jobs, which meant more men would work these jobs. So then women didn't hold many jobs. They contributed little to society and had to subdue the men running the civilization. Mauryan Empire in India. Specialization of labor was not very prominent within this civilization. The leader was Buddhist and felt no need to put others above one another. Therefore, there was no set social structure or higher class. Patriarchy. Unlike the other three civilizations, the advancement of patriarchy declined due to specialization of labor within the empire. The women, although subordinate to men, women gained utmost respect and had many jobs. Even a man in rage will not be harsh to a woman, remembering that there depends the joy of love, happiness, and virtue. Women played a key role in many epics and religious scriptures. This non-patriarchal attitude within the Mauryan Empire is based off the religious values within the family within the empire. Gupta Empire, India. Social classes, the caste system: Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudra, Dalits, Untouchables. Brahmins, specializing as priests, teachers, and protectors of sacred learning across generations. Kshatriyas, the Kshatriyas practice as herders, farmers, merchants, and craftsmen. Vaishyas, the warriors and rulers within the Gupta Empire. Shudras were engaged in activities that were considered unskilled, such as servants and laborers. Untouchables. The untouchables were the excluded people. They were the lowest class and sometimes not even seen as real people. Within the Gupta Empire, the specialization of labor played a keen role in the development of social class, the caste system. The formation of social structures are based off whether or not a job is least or most relevant. All women were expected to raise children and sustain the house, and before that, they must please their husbands. In the Hindu religion, women were at the bottom of the caste system. They were property of the father and then the husband. This emphasized that patriarchy was based duly on the role of men within labor, which was not fit for that of a woman. Qin Dynasty, China. Social ranking: Emperor and his advisors, generals, nobles, and workers, artists and peasants, slaves and servitude. Han Dynasty, China. Social ranking: Emperors and empress, dowagers, generals, nobles, and government officials, farmers and peasants, artisans, craftsmen, merchants, and servants. Labor specialization: different jobs some thought to be more important than others. Higher class believed that they were more valuable and took advantage. Created rivalry, hatred, and vanity, which was only divided the people even more. Men were the head of the household and made all the decisions. In both the Han and Qin dynasties, men were the rulers and held almost all the jobs outside of the house. Women were taught to be submissive to men and believed that they were inferior, so they did their jobs as housewives and childbearers. The infestation of social class differences and changes of patriarchy were some of the largest effects of specialization in jobs in the four major civilizations during the classical era. In the future, we could consider how increase in wealth and civilizations are conquering of other civilizations affect social class and patriarchy.